Okay, guys, for today's lesson, you need the sheet that says mixed positive exponents number 1. So it is going to get progressively harder, and you kind of see that with today's work here. We got a lot going on. We got multiplying, we got dividing, we got power to a power. So we're going to try to tackle that. All right, if you look at number 1 here, you got to follow order of operations. And order of operations says exponents come first. Well, these are all exponents. But if you have any power to a power, that's what they're referring to. And here we see we have all these powers are raised to this power of a 0. Okay, so everything inside of here is raised to a power of 0, which means that 0 gets distributed to every little piece inside here. Okay, but hopefully by now you have learned that anything to the power of 0 just equals 1. Okay, so because this entire piece inside here is all raised to the power of 0, it doesn't matter what's in there. It means everything in there is going to be equal to 1. And 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 divided by 1 times 1 times is still 1. So very easy. There's like no work there whatsoever. You know the whole thing is equal to 1. Okay, now let's go to number 2. Start off on number 2. I'm going to tackle the top part first. Okay, I have my power. So I need to distribute this power in to the top part. Okay, so that's a squared times 2. Well, this 2 times 2 gives you 4. And then I have my b. So it's to the power of 4 multiplied by 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, let's look at the bottom here. If I have any plain numbers, I'm going to write those first. I'm just going to list it in front here. And again, there's no other number to multiply that with, so that's just a 2. Okay, and it helps me if I cross it off so I know I used it when I got a bunch going on. Okay, then I'm going to look at A's. And here's an A. Well, technically, that's an A to the first. Here's another A. That's another A to the first. So 1A and 1A come together to give you A squared. And then look at your B's. So here's b to the 4th power, and here's b to the 0 power. Remember, if it's to the 0 power, it's technically just 1. Like the whole thing is equal to 1. And if it's something like this, you just cross it off. So you're only left with this b to the 4th power. Okay, that's the first step. Now I need to go simplify this. Okay, so I look at my plain numbers, my coefficients. Well, there's only 1 here. So that 2 just stays. Okay, look at your variables alphabetically. A's. I see both sides have them. So I say which side has more? The top does. How many more? 2 more, because 4 take away 2 gives you 2. Cross those off. Okay, look at your B's. Both sides have them. And again, the top has more. How many more? 8 take away 4 gives you 4. So that's my final answer. Okay, number 3. I see there's some multiplication going on here. You got a power to a power. So I have to handle this power to a power first, which means I'm just going to come over here and rewrite this first piece, x cubed, y cubed. Distribute that 3 in. So this was y to the 1st power, and 1 times 3, so that gives you y to the 3rd power. And then x you had to the power of 2 times 3. That's x to the 6th power. Okay, underneath, just rewrite 2x squared, y to the 4th. Now, up top, before I can start simplifying with the bottom, I need to combine what I can up top here. And there's x's and y's that can go together because it's all being multiplied. So go alphabetically. Okay, x's, you got 3 and 6. So it's going to be 9 of them. Y's, 3 and 3 more, 6. And then rewrite the bottom, 2x squared, y to the 4th. Okay, look for your plain numbers. There's only 1 here, so when I rewrite that, I'm just put that 2 right there. Cross it off. Now my x's, I got some on both sides. I see which side's got more. Top does. How many more? 7. So if I get rid of those, you got 7 x's remaining up top. And then we check out the y's. Again, the top has more. 6 take away 4 is 2. So cross those off. We used everything. So final answer, x to the 7th, y squared over 2. And again, to be a proper order, we need to have it alphabetical order. So this does match up. Okay, number 4. So you see on number 4 here, there's a couple different ways you can do it. I would start off by just distributing that 3 into everything, because that 3, the whole thing's in parentheses. So that's going to go to every single piece right there. Okay, so that's y to the 4th times 3. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. Times 2 to the 3rd, because that was the exponent of a 1, so just 1 times 3 is 3. And then y, you had no exponent on there, so it's a 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And then your x, 2 times 3, gives you 6. Okay, underneath, that just comes in. 2 times 4 gives you y to the 8th. So up top, we have some pieces that can be combined together. First off, if I have a plain number that has an exponent on it, I can actually figure that out. We need to simplify that. So 2 cubed, is 2 times 2 times 2. Well, that's going to be 8. So cross that off. And then I look at my x's. There's only 1 up top. Cross that off. Your y's, well, 12 plus 3 is 15. Okay, and then bring over that y to the 8th. Okay, one more step to simplify. We see up top, that's 8 is our only whole number we got. Okay, used it up. X's, there's only 1 x is up there, so that's x to the 6th. And then your y's, you got top and bottom. So which side's got more? The top does. How many more? 7. Okay, there's nothing underneath there. When you have nothing underneath, there's technically a 1 as a placeholder, but we're just going to rewrite that and just say 8x to the 6th, y to the 7th, because if it's on the bottom, we technically don't need that one. Okay, number 5, we got, all right, up top, I'm going to go ahead and simplify these all together because there's nothing to a power up top. So I see my whole numbers. I got 2 whole numbers here. 2 times 2, 4. Cross those off. X's, you got 1 x here, another x there. 1 and 1 gives you 2. And then your y's, you got 4 and 4 gives you 8. Okay, check out the bottom here. This whole parentheses is raised to the 0 power. And we know anything raised to the 0 power is just 1. So that's a pretty easy one. Just rewrite it now. Again, we don't need that 1 on the bottom. Final answer, 4x squared y to the 8th. Okay, number 6. So this one you have the entire thing is to the 2nd power. So this 2 is going to be distributed into every single piece. Okay, so we're handling the top first. So we got 2 squared. And then we have x squared. Y cubed times 2 is y to the 6th. Okay, on the bottom, this 2 is going to go into every single piece here. So there's a 2 squared. And then we have x squared. And then we have a y to the 6th. Okay, and then coming over here, we got times 2 squared. And then we have y squared. And then we have x to the 4th. All right, so I need to go ahead and simplify this further. 2 squared, I know, is 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm left with 4x squared y to the 6th. Okay, on the bottom, so I use those. 2 squared again is 4. Okay, and then technically I do this. So 2 squared is 4. I got a 4 there as well. All right, so maybe to save a step, I'm going to say 4 times 4 is 16. So I'll just go ahead and put a 16 there. Okay, x squared and x to the 4th come together, and that gives you x to the 6th. And then my y's, y to the 6th and y squared, that gives you y to the 8th. Okay, so now I need to simplify. Look at your whole numbers. 4 up top, 16 on the bottom. Well, what number goes into both? 4 does. How many times 4 go into 4? Once. I don't need to put that 1. But it does go into 16 4 times. Okay, x's. Which side's got more? The bottom does. How many more? 4. Because 6 take away 2 is 4. So you use those up. And then last, your y's. Well, there's more on the bottom. How many more? 8 take away 6 is 2. So you got those left on the bottom. Okay, you see what happened? There's nothing left up top. And in this case, you have to put that 1. That 1 has to stay. And that's your final answer. All right, so we're now going to go ahead and do number 7. Go ahead and solve number 8. Okay, number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16.